All right, you guys, this your boy back at y'all with another one. Let's get right down to business, man. So we got more fallout from this, failed coup attempt. As we're going to direct our focus now to, in my opinion, the face of all this nonsense, Senator Josh Hawley, right? That's right, Senator Josh Hawley. You tried that little gambit and it blew up in your face. Now, let's get down to business, right? This article is coming from Politico, right? And this is the perfect title for this particular piece tonight, as Josh Hawley election gambit blows up on his face. Well, along with him, along with Ted Cruz as well. Yeah, buddy. And he knew there was no goddamn election fraud. He knew that. But what he tried to do was he tried to take that situation, massage it, and use it for his own political ambition. All right? Now, this article said Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz have positioned themselves as heirs to President Donald Trump's base, but their decision to base Trump's election challenge is fueling major blowback, even as they remain largely unrepentant after this week's deadly riot. Now, following the insurrection at the Capitol, the potential 2024 presidential candidates are facing Democratic calls to resign and charges from their own party that they incited violence in the name of political opportunism. Now, Cruz said that such allegations were ludicrous. Now, it's pretty ironic that Ted Cruz said it was ludicrous, considering that Sunday before he was down in Georgia, calling those people's patriots and all that, right? Now, I don't know where they get this thing to where them storming the Capitol and and doing all this crazy ass shit here to try to overturn the election is an act of patriotism. But hey, if you want to go with the rules, go right ahead. All right, we just go along with the motherfucking rules, okay? Ted Cruz is so desperately wanted to be president. Josh Hawley wanted to be president too, and they literally put their careers on the line for this sham. But then, right, nobody can answer this one question, right? And I keep asking this question over and over and over again, right? And the question I ask is, okay, if it was all this widespread voter fraud, right, how come the same Republicans that was on re-election with Donald Trump won and he lost? If there was all this widespread voter fraud, right? It would have been more believable had Donald Trump and all the surrogates lost. So all these Republicans that were on the ticket, right? All these Republicans that was on the ticket, on the verge of re-election and what have you, everybody lost and he did, okay, then maybe, just maybe, there might be a case of widespread voter fraud. But since the Republicans won, right? Because they actually gained seats in the House of Representatives, right? So the Republicans won, they gained seats in the House of Representatives, right? But yet Donald Trump lost. He was the only one at the time lost, right? Because we ain't had the Georgia Senate yet. We had the Georgia Senate races, but they ended up going to a runoff. But Donald Trump lost. The Republicans gained seats in the House of Representatives, but yet this is widespread voter fraud. Get the fuck out of here. And Josh Hawley knew that, but he wanted to tap into Trump's base for his own 2024 election bid. That's what it was. In questioning their election results, the senators aligned themselves with Trump and his most hardcore supporter baseless claims of widespread voter fraud. Some in Trump world are still cheering them on, and like some other motherfucker named Josh that be, fumigating his bullshit in my comment section, and they may ultimately win support from the party's base if they run for president. But after rioters stormed the Capitol in a bid to halt certification of Joe Biden's election, Hawley and Cruz are facing immediate consequences. Now, Hawley's political patron, former Senator John Danforth, turned on him, calling his support the biggest mistake he's ever made. His top donor, David Humphreys, said he should be censored. Hawley's book publisher dropped him, interfering with a key element of many presidential campaigns. Cruz, meanwhile, is facing a redux of the backlash he received for egging on a shutdown in 2013 in a failed effort to defund Obamacare. Texas, why the fuck did y'all vote this jackass back in office? Why? What did you see in Ted Cruz that make you want to go to the polls and vote for him and put his ass back in the Senate? Shout out to Jeffrey Weaver and the homie, the African sci-fi scholar in the building. What's up, homie? Really? When Ted Cruz was up for re-election, that was the time he could have got that Bama out. But no, you had to go out there and you had to vote for this motherfucker. Now this jackass back in the goddamn Senate playing wishy-washy games, right? See, let this be a lesson to all you politicians out there. When you play stupid games, expect to win stupid prizes, okay? And you deserve all this backlash and this blowback that you're getting because you tried to massage a bullshit claim for your own political ambition. You tried to tap into Trump's base. You tried to rile up the base to get them to vote for you when you go up for election in 2024. But no, you're not going to get that. And instead, you're going to go back to working at McDonald's there, Mr. Josh Hawley. Now, Hawley and Cruz and this was the most egregious thing. Even after all that stuff happened, right? They still ran along with that bullshit. They still went along with that bullshit. Now, Hawley and Cruz led separate efforts to object to the certification of the election results in Arizona and Pennsylvania, despite overwhelming opposition from Senate Republicans, including Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Now, Mitch McConnell warned, and this is the thing that really got me perplexed about this whole situation, right? Mitch McConnell, the snap turtle from Kentucky, right? Soon to be former Senate Majority Leader, right? Moscow Mitch, Cocaine Mitch, right? Mitch bitch, Mitch McConnell warned these Republican senators, do not engage in this bullshit. And what did Josh Hawley do? He didn't listen. And this is what happens when you have a hard head. My mama always tell me, a hard head makes a soft behind. A hard head makes a soft behind. And that's exactly what Josh Hawley get. I don't feel nothing for the Bama. I don't feel nothing for this fucking, white supremacist hack. Right? Now this motherfucker calls himself trying to gain more brownie points with the Trump surrogates and the Trump supporters by talking about Antifa. And all this shit about Antifa, look, if Antifa was a thing, right? Why would they go to a pro-Trump rally? Right? Because if you know what Antifa stand for is anti-fascism, so why would they be at a pro-Trump rally? Right? Let's be honest. Hey, look, but see, this is what happens when people don't do their research, right? These politicians know that most of the general public that don't know the government, they also know that most of the general public ain't gonna do research, right? That's why they're able to get away with saying all kinds of bullshit. And they bank on the fact that people take that bullshit and run with it. Now, Hawley was the first to announce the challenge to Biden's win. Cruz followed up with his own plan to object, coupled with the call for the creation of a 10-day electoral commission that initially had the backing of 10 of his GOP colleagues, but had no chance of being established. Some Senate Republicans dropped their objections after the Capitol was ransacked, but Cruz and Hawley maintained their stances. Both Hawley and Cruz condemned Wednesday violence. So let me get this straight. These two jackasses want to condemn Wednesday violence, but yet they're contributing to the violence. You can't sit up and say, hey, I think this election is rigged. I think this is a voter fraud in these elections. I think there was all this widespread voter fraud in the election, right? When Trump directed those people to show up and show out at the U.S. Capitol, and even after they showed up at the U.S. Capitol, y'all still objected to the election results, but yet y'all condemned what happened. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stop playing games with people that's not playing with y'all. This is how people get themselves hurt. This is how people get themselves killed. This is how people get themselves in legal trouble. And this is how people get themselves in the hospital. Stop playing games with people that's not playing with you. You had Democratic Senators Patty Murray, Ron Wyden, and Chris Coons calling for them to resign. Senator Joe Manchin said in an interview that he lobbied Hawley, Cruz, and Senator James Lankford and Steve Daines to change their minds on objecting to Biden's electoral votes when the senators were holed up in a secure area following the attack. See, this is another thing. So when those motherfuckers, when those white supremacists were in the Capitol, right? When they was up there ransacking and going through papers and tearing shit up, right? Y'all was hiding out in a bunker. Did y'all go out there and entertain those white supremacists? No, you did not. You didn't. You was in a hole waiting for them to get done tearing shit up. And you still went out there and contested the election results, right? You still went out there and contested election results despite there was like 60 cases that got thrown out in court. The Supreme Court wouldn't even entertain the goddamn election results case. But yet you still tried to run with that bullshit, right? And that's exactly what you get. And now you want to sit up here and bitch about your book deal getting canceled? Good. As far as I'm concerned, that's the only thing that needs to be canceled. Now, you have Mitt Romney said election objection will forever be seen as being complicit in an unprecedented attack against democracy. Tom Cotton, also potential presidential contender, said on Fox News that those senators, as insurrectionists were literally storming the Capitol, were sending out fundraising emails. Now, Ben Sass, now look, this is the thing I like about Ben Sass, right? He always gets sassy an hour after the game is over. This motherfucker will tell you the final score an hour after the game is over, and here he come, right? Senator Hawley was doing something that was really dumbass. You think? It was terrible, terrible idea. You don't lie to the American people, right? Senator Mike Lee said while he strongly disagreed with Courage and Hawley's decision to challenge the election result, there's a difference between weighing in on a particular issue and inciting violence. Another GOP senator spoke on the condition of anonymity, predicted the caucus would face a reckoning over Hawley and Cruz. While the raiding of the U.S. Capitol drew widespread condemnation from the members of both parties, the GOP grassroots is still devoted to Trump. Now, Hawley may become a martyr for the conservative free speech movement after Simon & Schuster canceled his book, and the anti-establishment conservative front is giving back up to Hawley as he's being abandoned by other allies. The junior senator from Missouri's decision to object to the election results showed tremendous courage. No, it didn't show tremendous courage. It showed tremendous stupidity. That's what it showed. It showed tremendous stupidity. And your little political gambit blew up in your face. Let's just be honest about that. His political gambit blew up in his face. And he deserved all the backlash he's getting right now for that.
Sorry, I don't understand.
So that's what he get. That's what this Bama get. Now, Ted Cruz tried to slither his way out of the situation, right? Trying to say the president's language and rhetoric was reckless and it wasn't helpful. But yet you contributed to it. So guess what? You deserve all that motherfucking shit he get. No, that was actually Google Nest African Sci-Fi. That was Google Nest. You know, I don't know what Google Nest talking about right now, but yeah, she tripping. No, you can't slither your way out this, right? You motherfucking Sanders that was complicit to all of Trump's bullshit, you cannot slither your way out this shit. We ain't gonna let you, like I said, ain't no escape. I told y'all there ain't no fucking escape. Now, there's an article from the St. Louis Dispatch where hundreds of people are gathering in St. Louis calling for Josh Hawley to resign. 300 demonstrators gathered, spoke, and concluded a protest by pitting a sign, "Resign Hawley," in the middle of Broadway on January 9th, 2021, outside the old historic courthouse in downtown St. Louis. Speakers called for Senator Josh Hawley to resign following a seizure and occupation of the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. by angry pro-Trump mob on Wednesday. Now, Hawley was the first Senate Republican to announce he would raise objections to the Electoral College results. And I'm going to share some pictures with y'all because these pictures are hilarious. These pictures are hilarious. I mean, look at these pictures right here, bro. Don't see seditious senator. Look at that. They got a picture of him in the toilet. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, those people out in St. Louis are not happy with him. They're not happy with him. And justifiably so. You can't try to pull this scam and then you don't face no consequences or repercussions behind that. Oh no. I'm gonna show you some more pictures or whatever, right? These pictures are hilarious. These pictures are hilarious. Look at this girl. Look at this woman. You're canceled just like you're canceled. And then they put up the swastika thing on his arm. Wow. That's crazy. They are not happy. The people out there in Missouri are not happy with him, man. Look at this shit. More protest. And these palm-colored people, there isn't even black people out here. These are palm-colored people out here protesting about this dude. Look at that. They wrote a thing on the street. They literally wrote a sign on the street calling for his resignation. They're going to remember this. Next time Josh Hawley's up for re-election, they're going to remember this. Okay? And he can do all the, revisionist history, and he can sit up there and try to do this, that, and the third and all that, right? He can sit up there and try to rehabilitate his image and all that. It ain't going to work. Those people are going to remember him literally trying to pull a stunt for his own political ambition. The book deal is the most important one because typically, a lot of your presidents and a lot of your people who's aspiring to be a president normally will have book deals established, but now the people basically came out and say, hey, look, that book deal that we had with you is off the table. Yeah, I agree with you, homie. He fucked up. Hey, look, old boy said, their president is right. You know you're not fucked up, right? You know you're not fucked up. I love it. I love it. I love every single second of it. You can't escape this. Your political career is over, man. Look, you might as well go ahead and resign and, get you a job as a regional manager at McDonald's. Okay? Just be a regional manager at McDonald's, whatnot, and be out the public spotlight. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit. Man, you fucked up, man. Your mentor denounced you, right? Everybody jumping off. Look, you by yourself on this one. They're letting you know that you're by yourself, homie. You know what I'm saying? Your top donor stopped donating to you, right? God damn, man, you're a 3-time loser. You lost your book deal. You got denounced by your mentor and your top donor. And Mitch McConnell warned you not to do this shit. Mitch McConnell warned Josh Hawley. He got all those senators together and he warned them, do not do this shit. But no, you chose to go the other route. You chose to be a contrarian. You chose to be a maverick. You overplayed your hand. You overstayed your welcome. And as a result, you lose everything that you got. Oh my God, that is so hilarious. And then you got your people out there in Missouri calling for your resignation. They writing the damn resign sign on the goddamn street. From a bird's eye view. They got that bitch written in yellow letters. Woo! 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 You can't make this shit up, y'all. You cannot make this shit up. Mm-mm-mm. Then he tried to double down on his stupidity. It's one thing to be stupid, but it's another thing to double down on stupid. You know what I'm saying? So he comes out and says this: I will never apologize. So he stand by that bullshit decision, despite the fact he lost his book deal, despite the fact he's getting denounced by his mentor and top donor and everybody else in the Senate, and by the people that voted him in. So this article is coming from KDSK.com, where Senator Josh Hawley stood by his decision to the objection to the certification of the Electoral College votes in Arizona and Pennsylvania, as pressure mounts on him to resign or be removed from office. In a statement, Hawley said he would never apologize for what he described as doing his job. No, you tried to carry water for Donald Trump, and now your ass is fucking your ass is about to sink with the Titanic. Okay? He said, I will never apologize for giving voice to the millions of Missourians and Americans who have concerns about the integrity of the elections. That's his job, and he will keep doing it. First of all, you cannot sit up there and say there was this widespread voter fraud when case after case after case after case got thrown out of fucking court. Oh, John Edwards, yeah. John Edwards, yeah. He died. You would never hear from John Edwards again outside of his death. Now, Hawley was the first senator to say he would object to the certification of the votes, echoing unfounded claims by President Donald Trump of election fraud in November. Hawley said he wanted to highlight the failure of some states, including notably Pennsylvania, to follow their own election laws. He did not offer any specifics or evidence to the claim. Yeah, when you sit up there and make fucking claims, we need evidence.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Hey, Google, stop. Now, during the debate, a mob of Trump supporters breached the Capitol building and clashed with law enforcement before disrupting Congress tallying the Electoral College votes. All right, so we all know this was an inside job. Them motherfuckers literally opened the gate to let them white supremacists through. You had cops taking pictures with these white supremacists and shit. So of course it was an inside job. Because had it been black people going up to the Capitol, calling themselves storming the Capitol and all that, they would have been met with the goddamn military. Shout out to Wouldn't You Like to Know in the building. One woman who was shot inside the Capitol during the riot has died, along with 4 other people, including a police officer who got bashed upside the head with a fire extinguisher. But Blue Lives Matter, right? Blue Lives Matter, right? We bashing cops upside the head with a goddamn old fire extinguisher, but Blue Lives Matter. Okay. The Electoral College vote was certified just after 2:30 Thursday morning, with Congress confirming President-elect Joe Biden's victory. The final count is 306 to 232. On Thursday, also, publisher Simon & Schuster announced that they would cancel the publication of Hawley's upcoming book. Now, they came up with a statement saying after witnessing the disturbing, deadly insurrection that took place on Wednesday in Washington, D.C., Simon & Schuster has decided to cancel the publication of Senator Josh Hawley's forthcoming book, The Tyranny of Big Tech. We did not come to this decision lightly. As publisher, we will always be our mission to amplify a variety of voice and viewpoints. At the same time, we take seriously our larger public responsibility as citizens and cannot support Senator Hawley's after his role in what became a dangerous threat to our democracy and freedom. Now, Thursday evening, Hawley called the publisher part of the, quote, woke mob, unquote. He accused them of assaulting the First Amendment and said he would see them in court. Yeah, good luck with that one, motherfucker. Good luck with that one. See, they always go back to that First Amendment bullshit. When you had Trump and all his surrogates putting all that bullshit about voter fraud and about Dominion and you had Sidney Powell, you had the Desperate Housewives reject when she was out there talking about Hugo Chavez. Now, mind you, Hugo Chavez died in 2013, right? So you mean to tell me 7.5 years later, someone got a Ouija board and a spell book, right? And they casted a spell and they brought goddamn going Hugo Chavez from the dead, right? And Hugo Chavez and his ghost contributed to the widespread voter fraud of Donald Trump losing the election. I mean, can you cook up anything any more convoluted than that? Come on. Come on. Come on. I dare you. I dare you to cook up something more convoluted than that. You got Giuliani, holding press conferences outside of sex shops, and you got hair dye running down the side of his face, right? Yeah, how you gonna try to force a company to publish a book? Yeah, okay, the fuck out of here. They don't have to publish your book. Come on, Josh Hawley, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I knew you could do better than that, Josh Hawley. See, they're always threatening that court shit. They violate my First Amendment rights. The fuck out of here. If you do something at your job, right, and you get fired from your job for making a comment about somebody, right? You gonna sue the job that fired you for them violating your First Amendment rights? Look, you got right to free speech, but that don't mean you run around here talking careless or talking reckless. Because there's such things of terms of service, right? And agreement that you have, right? Anybody that worked a job or you going on the people's platform, there are such things as terms of service. You're not going to just go up there and just start shooting out of your mouth, cussing out your boss and telling he's a piece of shit and all that type of shit, and you gonna still keep your job? Really? You go to your job and cuss out your boss, right? Telling him that he's a piece of shit and I could do the job better than him, and I don't know why the fuck you got that position, wherever like that. You go tell your boss that and see what the fuck happens. Tell your boss that and see what happened. And after you get fired, are you gonna sue the employer for violating your First Amendment rights? The fuck out of here. So don't give me that bullshit about First Amendment. The response also came from commentators and representatives in the political world. Conservative Washington Post columnist George Will called out Hawley, Ted Cruz, and President Trump for their roles in the chaos on Capitol Hill on Wednesday. Because these acts were despicable, it was repulsive, and any self-respecting person would distance themselves from these two motherfuckers. They're nuclear, just like Donald Trump. Anybody that was associated with Donald Trump and his bullshit rhetoric, their asses are nuclear right now. And you're seeing the fallout from when you get behind a fucking con man. This is what these Republicans get. That's what they get. Don't complain about Frankenstein when he attacks, okay? You motherfuckers sit up here and you created Frankenstein, and when Frankenstein attacked, now y'all want to sit up here and be on your high horse and you want to get mad about people stopping your books from getting published and want to call for you to resign and all that. Y'all did this, right? Y'all got behind this fucking con man. Because think about this, y'all. Donald Trump has cost the Republican Party all three parts, right? He cost them the White House. He cost them both parties of Congress. the House, and the Senate. So Republicans have absolutely no power at all to do anything. Mitch McConnell ain't the Senate Majority Leader no more. They lost the House 2 years ago. So this is what you get. I feel absolutely nothing for you, right? If anything, I'm laughing at you. Because you played these games, right? You played these stupid games. Now you about to win stupid prizes. And this ain't it. You, man, look, Josh Hawley, you think you are going to get away with this shit? You wait till you're up for re-election. They're going to remember this. Your challenger is going to remember this. Your challenger is going to talk about this. Just like when goddamn on Kelly Loeffler, right? And David Perdue, when they was involved in goddamn on insider trading, and them two Bammers should be in jail right now. Guess what the Democratic challengers did? They brought that shit right up. That's right. They brought that shit up. They brought up the fact that they knew about this goddamn coronavirus upcoming pandemic. You did nothing about it but fat in your pockets. You didn't care for the people that you were so-called serving, including Kelly Loeffler, who's not even from Georgia. She's from Illinois. She's a goddamn Illini, Illinois, the University of Illinois Illini masquerading as a Georgia Bulldog. But she's telling Fox News and anybody else that's on Fox News, like your Laura Ingrams of the world, another Desperate Housewives reject. You had goddamn on Tucker Carlson and Sean Clancy, right? Anybody that was willing to listen, you had that bony ass Kelly Loeffler, right? And because yes, you do suffer from malnutrition, Kelly Loeffler, right? She goes on there and tells the people that ain't no need to give up no $1,200 stimulus. It's counterproductive. That's what she said. She also said this: "Oh, there's nothing to worry about. You know, everything's going to be fine. Donald Trump is going to take this economy to heights it's never been before." David Perdue was so starstruck and he was so fearful of how John Ossoff completely cooked his ass in the debate, the motherfucker didn't even want to show up to the next one. Right? And then you had the more recent debate prior to the election with, you know, the Reverend Raphael Warnock, right? All you hear was this: the radical liberal left, the radical liberal left, the radical liberal left. Yeah, we know about Raphael Warnock and his radical liberal left agenda. I mean, repeatedly. Let's listen to this shit. Kelly Loeffler's greatest hits.
My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. 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 Radical liberal Raphael Warnock.
Now, I played that for my iPod, but 20 years ago, you would have thought I had a skip CD. You thought I would have had it. Matter of fact, I would go a step further and say you would probably think I would have a scratch in my CD. The way she repeated that in that 30-second clip 60 fucking times. For real. You would have thought 20 years ago I had a scratch in my CD the way she repeated that shit. But this is what you get. You play games with people's lives, well, guess what? The games get played on you. Straight up. But hey, Kelly Loeffler ain't got nothing to worry about. Neither him nor David Perdue ain't got nothing to worry about. You know why? Because, they're only worth like, I don't know. Kelly Loeffler only worth like, I don't know, like $500 million. So is she really hurting right now? When she paid that $2 million bribe to Brian Kemp to get her that seat in the Senate, she made that money back and then some. So Kelly Loeffler will go to one of her 5 matches or whatever like that, and she will eat, drink, and be merry for the rest of her trifling ass life. Her and her husband, who owns the New York Stock Exchange, right? Don't think Kelly Loeffler will be hurting for money. Don't think Kelly Loeffler will be hurting at all. Nope. Of course they didn't run good campaigns because they're not good people. But this is what y'all get, Republicans. This is what you get. This is what happens when you call yourself trying to play games with people's lives. And now, as a result of trying to play games with people's lives, the goddamn joke gets played on you. Now, tell me what you guys think. This your boy. Scream at me.